home with another shirt. And come to think about it, the reason why he probably came home with another shirt is probably because his other shirt was dirty. You know, whenever you doing shit you ain't got no business doing, and you keep your shirt on or whatever, and you get a little messy down there, like, I feel like that's probably what it was.
Bitches in the club, and I know they know about each other. I think these bitches trying to set me up.
So much for watching MissAngeliqueTV, where we talk about everything, and when I mean everything, I mean like who gets cheated on Valentine's Day. As you can see by the title, I got cheated on Valentine's Day, and this happened a long time ago, so don't think it was anything recent, because it's not. If y'all been watching my story times, y'all would know that I have another character of my story times named Freddie. We were together for a couple years, for quite some time, so I did have quite some stories to tell about him. I've told a lot of different stories with Freddie being in it, such as like he kidnapped my son. If you haven't checked out those stories, go ahead and check them out, because you don't want to like not watch them. Like, you gotta watch them, because it kind of helps my other stories make sense. Okay, and also if you're new to my channel, girl, boy, you better fucking subscribe. Why? Because like, this is the place to be subscribed to. Hit that subscribe button right now, and also hit that like and comment if you ever got cheated on Valentine's Day before. Like, if you ever had any crazy Valentine's stories, I want to hear them, because I really feel like I'm the only bitch in this world who got fucked over on Valentine's Day, which I'm pretty sure I wasn't, but I've never had any other person tell me a similar story before. So go ahead and drop your stories down in the comment section. I met Freddie when I was 17. We got together when I was 17. We moved in together when I was 17. It's a lot. Like, it was a lot that went on in between those short period of time. Like, I have a lot of stories about Freddie that I just haven't talked about. So if y'all want any other stories, go ahead and let me know in the comments, because I can, I don't mind filling y'all in on a few other things that has nothing to do with other stories or other story characters, such as Ghost, because I'm tired of talking about him. So yeah, but just a little backstory. We got together when I was 17. We took a break. I forgot why we took this break, but we took a break, and the break was probably like a 2-week break. It wasn't that long, but whenever we got back together, we ended up getting engaged, and that was that. So I was 17 going on 18 and about to get married as fuck. I was happy. I thought I was, at least, but whenever I turned 18, I started feeling like I was missing out on things. I started feeling like, damn, like I moved out of my mama's place when I was 17 and straight to a man's house. Like, I haven't even lived my life yet. Like, I never went to prom or anything like that. So, I wanted to kind of live my life in a way. Even though I had a child at the time, I still felt like I had a little bit more room to still kind of live my life and balance my parenting as well. So we ended up breaking up, and then when we got back together, we got engaged. But whenever we got back together, it was all good in the beginning, and then let's fast forward to whenever I turned 18. We got into it on my 18th birthday. Ended up breaking up. It's crazy, because we broke up on my 18th birthday and we broke up on my 21st birthday. But the 21st birthday was the last breakup we ever had, because I never got back with that nigga since. I ended up breaking up our engagement, and he was really, really hurt about that. Because I don't know, I think I was giving him vibes that I was ready to be a wife, and that I was ready to, have this whole family, But in the inside, I really wasn't feeling like that. After the 2 to 3 month break, we ended up getting back together, and I could tell he really wasn't the same, but I could also tell that he was trying in a way. Like, he was trying to fall back in love with me how he was before I broke up the engagement. But I knew that he wasn't really fully there, because he would still talk to bitches. Like, I would always catch him talking to bitches. And before we broke up, I had never had that problem with him. Like, I trusted him. But whenever we got back together after that long break or whatever, I noticed he wasn't the same. Like, I would always find random bitches in his phone. I would always find random bitches texting him random numbers that was unsaved, and just all different types of stuff, right? But my dumb ass, I was still, at that point, I feel like I was ready to be in a committed relationship, which I still wasn't ready at that point in my life, but I felt like I was. And at this time, I was 18. So let's talk about Valentine's Day, okay? We were on good terms at this point, y'all, and this is the day before Valentine's Day, right? He told me, hey, you know, my brother, or whatever, they, you know, having a kickback, or they, you know, they just about to be drinking and smoking or whatever, at their place, and I want to go chill. So I'm like, okay, cool, fine, I ain't tripping. I had to work the next morning anyway, so I ain't had no business being out, so I couldn't even go with him even if I wanted to, because I bitch got to go to work the next morning, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, babe, you know, that's fine. He told me that he wouldn't be long. He was like, I'm not gonna be out all night. I'm just, you know, about to chill with them for a little while and I'll be back home. Okay, cool. So, you know, the night goes on, he leaves, and I ended up falling asleep because, like I said, I had to work the next morning, so I wasn't gonna be staying up for nobody. But I did, every now and then, I would look at my phone, like I would wake up out my sleep, look at my phone, look at the time, and I noticed that it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I text him and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, you know, you good when you coming back? And he was like, oh, I'm drunk. I'm really, really drunk, and I don't want to drive home right now, so I'm going to just sleep it off at my brother's house, and I'll be back in time for you to go to work. So I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine with me. The next morning, you know, comes. It's daylight outside. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning because I had to go to work early at that time. I think I was going to work at maybe like 8 or 9, so I had to be up early. So he ended up walking in the house maybe about 6 o'clock in the morning with, mind you, he had a new shirt on, like a shirt that I've never seen before, and also a shirt that he didn't leave the house in, but that's besides the point. Also, he had a bouquet of flowers in his hand, as well as a teddy bear and a card. So he come in the house, I'm like, baby, thank you so much, like that is so sweet or whatever, because like I just felt like it was just so fucking sweet. Like I'm not used to getting flowers or whatever. Like I wasn't used to getting bears and cards and stuff like that, even if it was Valentine's Day. So I was really, really excited about that, and you know, he was excited. He was happy that I enjoyed the gift. That happens, and I end up going to work shortly after that, and I brought my car with me and everything, y'all, to work. Yeah, bitch, my nigga thought about me. Like, yeah, bitch, like, what about you? Do you got a car? Like, do you got a bear? Like, a bitch was really, really bucked up. Like, I was really, really excited that I had got a Valentine's Day gift, and then the fact that it happened before I went to work, like, I was already in, like, good spirits at this point anyway, so I'm like, hell fucking yeah, like, let me show off my car. And then, like, in the middle of my shift, like, I would, you know, go back to the car and, like, reread it and stuff, because it was really, really sweet, and I was really, really happy. Girl, I come home or whatever, and you know, it's Valentine's Day, right? So he just gave me a card, he just gave me a bear and some flowers. Like, I owe him something, right? And when I mean I owe him something, like, y'all, we grown, right? I owed him that, because like, you went all out and you got me flowers and everything before work. Like, you didn't have to fucking do that. We do the thing or whatever. Get in the shower afterwards to wash the sands off of us, right? So we get in the shower together. I'll get out the shower first because, like, a bitch ready to fucking get out the shower. Like, I ain't trying to be in there. So I get out the shower, and the way that the bathroom was made in that particular apartment that we were in is like, okay, you walk in the bathroom and it's the sink, it's the mirror, or whatever, and then there's another door which leads to the toilet and the tub, right? So if I wanted to, I could close the door to the tub and to the toilet, and then I could be in the room in the other part with the sink and stuff by myself, right? So, but I didn't close the door. The door was kind of like cracked anyway, so I'm drying myself off or whatever. He's still in the shower, talking about Freddie. He's still in the shower, and I'm drying off or whatever, and you know, I look, his phone on the counter. Y'all know me, like, if y'all don't know, most of my story times of me catching a nigga cheat, of me finding out that he fucking another bitch, of me finding out he got another baby on the way, like, most of the time I find these situations out, whenever I find this out, it is more than likely because I'm looking through their phone. Okay, now let me back the fuck up real quick. A bitch don't look through phones no more, because, like, I feel like if I gotta look through your phone, then it's a motherfucking problem. But as long as I got a fingerprint on that bitch, like, if I needed to, like, you know, grab a number real quick, if my phone about to go dead and I need to, like, grab your phone real quick to make a call, I want to be able to do that. So, you know, the relationship I'm in now, like, I ain't gotta worry about that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't condone and looking through phones. I don't. But Bitch, if you got a feeling, you better act on that motherfucking feeling, because you know what? You don't want to be, you know, stuck in the blind. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be, you know, left out if your nigga really fucking around behind your back, right? So if you got that feeling, bitch, you better act on that feeling. Like, don't let that feeling tell you that you shouldn't be feeling that and to not look to his phone. Like, do that shit. I did that shit, right? And you know, I looked and it happened to have been a number that was unfucking saved. And he didn't have the text message preview on his home screen. But you keeping up with my story times, it always seemed like the moment I want to look through the phone is the moment they don't have a password on it. Like, my nigga, you know I'm about to look through your phone. Why you ain't got a password on your phone? Like, I mean, I ain't tripping or whatever, but you know, if you know you doing something you ain't had no business doing, why you ain't got no password on your phone? At least I wouldn't have been able to look through the phone. You know what I'm saying? At least I would have been able to ask you, okay, well, shit, who the fuck is this number? Like, the only thing I could go off of if I haven't actually looked through the phone. So if he had a password on his phone, I probably would have still asked him, like, who the fuck is this number? Why you ain't got it saved? But he probably would have lied, and I probably would have believed it, right? So I don't know what's wrong with these niggas. Like, y'all be, if y'all, look, if you fucking around, first of all, don't fuck around. But if you gonna fuck around, be smart about it. A bitch looked through the phone, right? I opened the phone, pressed the little home button, and the bitch just pop up. Like, it just pops up. It didn't, don't ask me for a password. Don't ask me for a fingerprint. Well, I don't think at the time fingerprints were existing on iPhones. I take this opportunity to fucking take a peek real quick before this motherfucker get out the shower. I hurried and looked through the fucking phone real quick. The text thread was kind of short. Okay, it was kind of short. So anytime I see a short ass text thread, especially from an unknown ass number, that's a red flag to me, because number one, why this thread is so short? Number two, I could tell y'all been talking by the previous conversations. Like, I could tell that, like, it was obvious. So I opened the phone, opened the text thread, and I see that whoever this female was like, when I'm gonna see you again? Are you gonna come back through tonight? Is he gonna come to what tonight? What we going? All right, that's what, at this point I'm like thinking to myself, what the fuck is we going tonight? Because he ain't never told me anything. Like, he ain't never say, hey babe, we going out tonight. Like, so who the fuck is this asking him what they doing tonight or when she gonna see him? So he gets out the shower, right, y'all? And I could tell he's getting ready to get out the shower, because he turns the water off before he gets out the shower. So I still had a little bit of time to make the phone look like it was untouchable. He gets out the shower and starts, you know, random conversation with me or whatever. And I said, Freddie, where you was last night? Like, just randomly. Like, I didn't even sugarcoat it, nothing like that. Like, I wasn't even trying to, because at this point I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because this would have been the first time of me even finding out anything regarding him not being faithful. Because before I broke up the engagement, like I said, I've never had an issue with any bitches, none of that. I ain't have issues with that. But it seemed like ever since we got back together, it, you know, females have been a problem. One thing I could tell y'all about Freddie is, no way, I take that back. I was getting ready to lie. Yeah, I didn't much about to give you that credit, Freddie. Like, we cool and all now, you know, we got a co-parent, but I ain't much about to give you that credit, because I was getting ready to say one thing I could tell about him, or one thing I could say about him, is that he will admit when he's wrong. But I lied, because that's not true, because I went years without knowing about a certain situation that is another story time. So let me know if you want to hear that, because I'll let y'all know, but I'm not gonna talk about that. But he did admit, after I asked him, he looked at me and I could tell that it was something. He was like, look, I went to PV by this girl, and whenever I say PV means Prairie View, Texas. Prairie View, Texas is about an hour away from Houston. And Prairie View is a high school. Prairie View, that's a famous HBU college or whatever. If I'm saying that right, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm saying that right, it's a college or whatever, and it's a really famous black college at that. He told me that he had went to PV to see this girl, and at first he tried to tell me that they didn't do anything. At first he tried to lie and say that he just did something to her, but eventually I found out that it wasn't that. Like, ain't no nigga just about to eat a box and not get the meat, you know, cooked. Like, I said cook the meat, but y'all know what I mean. He admitted, and I completely lose it. Like, I was so distraught. Like, I was so shocked that, wow, you really out here fucking cheating on a bitch. Like, I know I broke up the engagement or whatever, but like, you took me back, so like, the fuck. So I'm like, okay. I go the fuck off. I'm crying. I'm screaming. I'm like, baby, what would you do? Like, if I look back at how I was, I would probably bust the fuck out laughing because, like, bitch, you only 18, dog. Like, a nigga gonna cheat. I calmed down eventually, and we talk about it. And I'm the type of bitch that if you gonna cheat on me, I want to know exactly what you did, how you did it, how it sounded, how it smelled. Like, I'm that type. I want to know every single detail. I want to know if you looked at her in her eyes. I want to know if you kissed her the same way you kissed me. Like, I know none of that matters at the end of the day, but I'm just telling you, that's the type of bitch that I was back then. Like, I wanted to know every single detail. Like, every single detail from the time you decided you wanted to cheat on me to the time that you came home from cheating on me. Like, I want to know every single thing, every step of the way, right? So, he was telling me or whatever. Pretty much, it all boils down to, he talked to her. Mind you, he met her on Twitter. Like, he was a Twitter nigga or whatever, right? And I don't know if he still is on Twitter now, but he was a Twitter nigga back then. And he explained to me that he met her on Twitter. She was a freshman in college at that time. He drove an hour away to go see her. And they had went to Walmart. He had bought her something. I don't know if he bought her a shirt, because like I said, he came home with another shirt. And come to think about it, the reason why he probably came home with another shirt is probably because his other shirt was dirty. You know, whenever you doing shit you ain't got no business doing, and you keep your shirt on or whatever, and you get a little messy down there, like, I feel like that's probably what it was. Like, I never thought about this until now, like, I'm actually recording a video. That's probably why he changed his shirt, because there ain't no way you gonna come home with a whole nother shirt for no reason. I asked him, he told me, and I start crying once again, because like, now I'm finally like living what had just happened. Like he just described it to me, and I put myself in those times where he worked his little magic or whatever and told me what I wanted to hear, and I ended up forgiving him, y'all. I ended up forgiving him. Stupid, because I'm the type of bitch that, like, I don't like going to sleep sad. I don't like none of that. Like, I don't. And let me tell y'all something. Before I even found out about this bitch, something happened, and I'm kind of backtracking myself, but I forgot to mention this. But something happened, or something was said, to where he ended up calling his brother, the same brother that he was supposedly, allegedly by while he was cheating on me. He called him just to confirm that he did in fact go to their house. He did in fact get drunk. He did in fact pass out, because not pass out, but he did in fact go to sleep, try to sleep it off, because he didn't want to drive home drunk. So the fact that he called his brother, and his brother, they're like 2 years apart, I believe. So they kind of like, you know what I'm saying? His brother cheating ass nigga too, but I think he a little bit worse though, honestly. But I should have fucking known to not believe him, but at the time I didn't know he was a cheating ass nigga as well, so I kind of believed it. But he really sat here and called that nigga, like, really trying to convince me that that's what he was, just to admit later down the line that he cheated on me. After I forgave him, he ended up blocking the girl, allegedly, even though she came up again in our relationship later down the line. But like I said, it's another story time if y'all want to hear. Like, I got a bunch of story times about Freddie that I probably didn't even talk about, because we were together for about 4 years, so I have a lot of different stories or whatever. But he ended up blocking a girl from his phone. He also changed his number. Like, that was another thing that he would always do, like, change his number, as if that's gonna stop him from being a dog ass nigga. Like, my nigga, you can just give the next bitch your number. Like, it means nothing. But at that time, I didn't look at it like that. At that time, I looked at it like, damn, like, he really going out his way to get a whole new number, which means he gotta give other people his number and all of this. So maybe he really is sorry, right? Later down the line, I ended up having an altercation with the girl. Not an altercation, but kind of like a back and forth type thing, because I forgot why. I forgot why. I want to say that she was liking his pictures or something like that, and I told him to block the bitch, and we ended up speaking for whatever reason, but that's a whole nother different day and time or whatever. But the funny part is Years later, of course, you know, I'm with Gabe, the love of my life now, and come to find out, he know the bitch. Like, he know the bitch. He know the Valentine's Day ass bitch. Like, he know that bitch. And the reason why he know her is because they went to the same high school together. And he also confirmed to me that the bitch was a hoe too. So, you know, I wasn't surprised. Houston kind of big, but Houston still kind of small whenever it comes to hoes. Let's just say that, because they got hoes everywhere. So you might know a hoe from the south side, but she that same hoe from the north side as well. You feel me? Moral of this story is, don't accept no gifts from a nigga who just been out all night the previous night. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because ain't no telling what this nigga been doing. Even if you believe where he was, if this nigga still come home with some gifts, even if it's not Valentine's Day, I don't give a fuck, it's your birthday. Bitch, I'm not saying be insecure. I'm not saying that at all whatsoever. But if you got a nigga who already giving you signs, like, you know, that he might be a not shit ass nigga, then you might need to second guess before you obtain, receive, retrieve, retain any type of gift from a nigga who just been out the previous. He had a guilty conscience because, yeah, it was Valentine's Day. Yeah, he probably should have got me a gift anyway, but honestly, I don't feel like he would have went out his way to make sure I had a gift before I went to work if he wasn't guilty about something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't feel that. Damn, like, I really got cheated on Valentine's Day. And the fact that I was, like, bragging. Like I said, me and Freddie, we have a good co-parenting relationship now. Things got a little rocky, you know, whenever I had to kidnap my son from him, which, again, that's a whole nother story time. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye.